Okay, here we go. The objective of this video is to provide an introduction to this channel, give everybody a little bit of context about who I am, why I started this channel, what my objective is by making these videos. Basically, I just moved, started a new life, sort of going out on a limb, so to speak. I moved from the US to Italy. So this wasn't like a I moved cities type of like this is a big, you know what I mean? So um and with that, I wanted to start this channel to sort of document the journey, basically, is sort of the grand scheme, grand idea. But within that, I wanted to sort of provide inspiration, I guess, talk about the journey, document it, provide some wisdom, things like that. Uh, a little bit of context. My brother and I moved out here together. We lived a very comfortable life in the States, which is great. You know, we're very blessed. We have a lot of gratitude towards that, towards the opportunities we've been given, things of that nature. But we both felt, you know, not that something was missing per se, but we want more out of life. You know what I mean? And I think that's okay. So our objective by moving was to sort of put our backs against the wall, kind of see what we're made of, things of that nature. That's what I tell people when they ask why I'm doing this. But you can sit right there. You'll be a good boy. Before I was rudely interrupted. Um, like I said, the idea was to take a bit of a risk, a big risk, take a gamble, sort of see, you know, what we can do and create with our lives and things like that. So, granted, you don't have to move halfway across the globe to do that, but we felt we've sort of had this on our radar to move and experience life in a different city, things like that. So here we are. You know what I mean? I went to school in Italy, so I graduated here. So it wasn't just like a you know you throw a dart at a map and that's where you're going type of thing. So I fell in love with the city when I lived here and studied here. So yeah, you know it's a big risk. We left a lot behind. We set ourselves up nicely. You know, we had jobs back in the states, save some money. We have some runway to work with, and we're not necessarily here sort of just partying and having fun type of thing. We've actually been working very hard. We have a couple business endeavors that we're pursuing here. So it's not like I said, it's not you know a big party for you know for a year or whatever it may be. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, you know, me personally, I can't speak on his behalf, but me personally, I felt like had I stayed in the U.S., I would have gotten complacent. You know, we had jobs, right? Nothing super exciting and whatnot, but you know, we're making good money, living a good life, things of that nature, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Um, but I just couldn't see myself doing that for let's say 40 years, retiring, this and that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. You know, people need to make a living, provide for their families, take care of bills, whatever it may be. So, uh, you know, that's certainly commendable. I have nothing against that, but I think right now for him and I, at this stage of our life, of our lives, it made it doesn't necessarily make sense, but now is the time to take that chance, take that risk, take that opportunity, and see what comes of it. You know what I mean? So I can't look back and say and ask myself, what if? You know what I mean? What if we started that YouTube channel? What if we moved to Italy? What if we pursued that business idea type of thing? So I'm really proud of ourselves, proud of us in that sense that you know we've taken these chances, taken these risks. And look, it could fall flat on its face, but like I said, we can't say we didn't try. You know what I mean? So that's sort of the objective behind the move, behind making this channel. I want to sort of document the journey, show people that anything's possible, uh, kind of maybe inspire people to take risks and do things that they that do things that are outside of their comfort zone, things of that nature. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be good times. There's going to be bad times. A lot of ups and downs. Especially, I mean, we've been here for about a month, and I can certainly say, especially mentally, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down. So, um, but that's what life's about. It's you can't have light without dark. The dark times make you appreciate the good times that much more. You know what I mean? So, and it hasn't been, we're very blessed. We're very fortunate. Like I said, we've got a great support system. We've got some runway to work with here. So, and I have the utmost confidence in our ability to, make things work, get scrappy type of thing. So, I got a ton of video ideas. That's why I'm holding this notebook. I got all my ideas in here. So yeah, I'm excited. This is definitely a step out of my comfort zone. Just get in front of the camera, doing this video. People who know me know I'm pretty reserved. I'm pretty quiet. I'm pretty low key. So I don't like. I'm very private. I don't like. You know what I mean? I don't do the social media. I didn't have social media for a good half decade. Up until recently, I just made an Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm gonna plug that. I'm gonna plug that down in the description. But for you guys to go check it out. But yeah, so this is certainly a step out of my comfort zone. I'm excited about it. I have nothing to lose. I think part of coming here, especially trying to do business here in a new country in a different language, things of that nature, you really gotta put your pride, your ego, you gotta put it aside. You know what I mean? It doesn't. None of it matters when you're pursuing something in life. You need to be willing to look embarrassed, to fail, all that good stuff. And I think that's so important. I think that's so important in life. So to be able to do those things and continue and move on and learn from your mistakes, learn from failure and things of that nature. So I'm going to talk more about that. Like I said, I got a ton of video ideas, but yeah. So bottom line, move to Italy, move to Rome specifically, beautiful city. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a journey. Obviously, I'm going to document it, look back on it, and say, damn, we did that. You know what I mean? Type of thing. I won't have to ask myself what if, because we're doing it. And yeah, I couldn't imagine, laying on my deathbed and asking myself, oh man, I wish I moved to Italy. Like I wish I tried that business idea. I wish I, uh, made that YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? So the objective of this channel is to, like I said, show people what's possible when you step out of your comfort zone, you take risks, take chances, bet on yourself, most importantly, and to embrace everything that comes with that, the good, the bad, the ugly. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, if one person, if literally one person can derive value from this and say, you know what, he's right. Let me do X, Y, or Z, and take a chance and bet on myself and all that good stuff. Then I'll consider this a success. So I've had this on my radar for a while. This video is long overdue. I'm hoping, once I get this first video up and running, the floodgates sort of open. Because, like I said, I've had this on my radar for a while. I just haven't executed. So I'm finally here, sitting in front of the camera. This video is not going to be we're not making movies here, right? I got my iPhone, a microphone, and a tripod. So I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So it's going to be a learning experience for me. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it, and I know I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm not going to take it too seriously. I'm going to try to put my perfectionism aside, and we'll see what happens. So